Hello, friends, and welcome to Little Bean's Garden, located in Pomona, California, Zone 10A, established in 2015. My name is Sule, and I will be your host for today. We're going to talk about the Mexican Sour Gherkin, and for this video that you're watching, I did use and plant my own saved seeds. So first, what I'm going to do is I am going to give you information that I gathered through research about the Mexican Sour Gherkin. And then after I provide you with that information, I will let you know how the plants typically do in my garden. Now, if you hear something weird with my voice, you are not hallucinating. I am under the weather, but you know what? We're here, we're present, and we're ready to roll. So let's go ahead and get this video done. Now, for the Mexican Sour Gherkin, it does also go by cucamelon or mouse melon. And this is an heirloom open pollinated variety. It is native to Mexico and Central America. It does grow in zones 2 to 11. However, zones 7 and below, most of the time the plant will be killed by the freeze. But if you live in zones 8 and above, you can trim it down and then cover it with some mulch. And then once the spring comes, you remove the mulch and then the plant will come back. Now, it does like the ideal temperature for the plant to be nice and happy and green and producing between 70 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And it does grow a lot of vines. Let me tell you, it grows a lot of little thin vines, but it is a lot. It is a prolific plant. It is heat and drought tolerant. Now, the Mexican sour gherkin is referred to as a cucumber, but it really is not a cucumber. And it is referred to as a cucumber due to its similar flavor and similar growing habit. Now, the fruits are generally grape shape, and for how they have done in my garden, they have done pretty well. A lot of things don't do great because of the extreme heat, but the Mexican sour gherkin does really well with my heat. And as mentioned before, it is heat and drought tolerant, so it is perfect for my type of weather. Now, let me be completely honest. The first 3 years that I grew it, I really struggled with it. The plant would grow, but it would never produce any fruit. Then I figured out that it was not that I was doing something wrong. Basically, it was the heat was just way too much for it. So, although the people that sell you seeds tell you it needs to be in full sun, just be careful. If you live in a climate similar to mine, it will need some protection from the sun. What I use for protection from the sun is my own home. So as you will see later on in this video, this container I did put it next to my home. So in the morning it got shade. In the middle of the day it got sun, and then late afternoon it got shade again. And as I previously mentioned, and as you can see in the video, I am putting these plants in a container. So this variety is perfect for container gardening. It doesn't require a lot of space for the actual plant. However, let me tell you that it grows a lot of thin little vines, a lot of vines, and it will take over any other plant that is next to it. So if you're going to plant it in a container, make sure that you do give it a trellis. In this video, as you can see, I put the pot next to the stairs so that it would try to hold on to the rail, and it did work for the most part, but it also it also took over the plants that I had on the other side of that rail. So again, if you're gonna put it in a pot, make sure it does have a trellis or something that it can grip to. If you're gonna put it in ground, same thing. Make sure it does have a trellis. And the vines grow really, really long, and it's a lot of them. So again, if you have it next to other plants, just keep an eye on it. Make sure you trim it accordingly so it doesn't kill your other plants, and it doesn't deprive them of any nutrients or any sun. With these plants that I potted in this pot, I fed them fish emulsion every 2 weeks, and that was enough to keep them happy. With these plants, I never gave them the regular granular feed that I give my other plants because I thought it would be just a little bit too much for the plant. But the fish emulsion always does the trick. When I grow them, I give them fish emulsion every 2 weeks, and they're happy with that. Honestly, this plant or this variety doesn't require a lot of work. It doesn't require a lot of babying and a lot of care. The only thing I did is give it nice, fertile soil so that they can grow happy, and then after that just gave them fish emulsion every 2 weeks. I highly recommend this variety, the Mexican Sour Gherkin. It In the beginning when I used to grow it, I used to cut the little fruit prematurely, and it had kind of like a vinegar type of taste. I did not like it, and that was another struggle that I had with it in the beginning when I started growing the Mexican Sour Gherkin. But then as time went on, I just made sure that I was waiting until the fruit looked nice and plump and full of life, and I don't know how to describe it, but basically I waited until it looked chubby, until it looked chunky to me. Once it gets to that stage, I cut it from the plant and I eat it, and it's super nice and sweet. It has this it does have a cucumber taste, but very mild cucumber taste. Well, guys, that's it from Little Beans Garden. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and sharing this video with your friends. We'll see you on the next one. And remember, grow some Mexican sour gherkins. Bye-bye.